Yo, what's up, guys? Terrell here. I'm here to bring you Sket Dance episode 61 review. Sket Dance was so awesome. The first, no, I'll say that for the end, because the end. Okay, so if anyone saw my Madaka box reaction, I kind of needed a pretty funny episode of Sket Dance to kind of get me into a good mood. And this episode did a pretty good job at it. I think the first half isn't as funny as the second half, because the first half is really just addressed. It's kind of like Fumi / Roman based comedy. And Roman comedy is funny, but it's only funny when she's breaking the fourth wall. The other time she's kind of just okay. And I know a lot of people hate Roman, so I'm not expecting Sam to like this. At least this first half. This first half probably isn't even funny to Sam. The whole first half is kind of just Fumi explaining how Roman is in the club, about how she's such a strict and knowledgeable teacher of manga. She's also dealing with her whole I'm in a slump right now because I'm trying to, make another work that's good enough to be published like my first one. Because if anyone remembers, I think a few episodes a while back actually, they mentioned that Roman's manga actually got into a one-shot in a shoujo magazine. So she's trying to top that, which they don't really go into that. They just kind of mention it, and then it just disappears for the rest of the part that she's in. The rest of it is really just a whole bunch of comedy about how she acts as a mangaka or a manga creator in the club and like the president and shit, and how Fumi looks up to her. And I mean, it's kind of funny about the whole how she has like two modes. She has like normal Roman-chan, which calls Boston Prince and shit all the time. And then you have like strict Roman, which is like that old lady face she seems to put on, like that mature woman face, and goes, this manuscript is not right. These lines are too, like, she goes into Bakuman mode. Actually, that's the best way to describe it. You have Roman, and you have Roman normal mode, you have Roman, breaking fourth wall Roman, and then like Bakuman Roman. You have three Romans, which is fine because she breaks the fourth wall so much there. Fuck, I remember one of the openings, she cloned herself like 3 times in the middle of the opening. So, yeah, Bakuman Roman, normal Roman, breaking fourth wall Roman. Normal Roman is just like, shoujo Roman, but, and I thought the first half was pretty funny, especially when you got to the Fumi stuff where it's like, Fumi was like, she has a manga, she wants to enter into a contest, and what kills it is that Roman is pretty well known for herself. She does well. It isn't like she sucks. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the manga she creates sucks. But in the context of the Sket Dance world, she does really well with the manga that she does create. And the thing is that Fumi took lessons from Roman to develop her style. So the artwork is fine. But like Boston and Himiko are reading Fumi's manga for the contest that has been revised and helped out by Roman. And it's ridiculous. Like, it was the most ridiculous shit. Apparently, the way she says thank you, they have like the girl in the manga like steps behind niggas and goes thank you, and then she essentially would take all the typical shoujo cliches and like fuck with them, like the whole running with bread in her mouth and running into the boy that she eventually comes to like. They have it where there's like a scene where she's running and then she misses the boy and runs into another guy, and the other guy is this ugly looking ass motherfucker. And then all of a sudden she randomly trips, but they took like an extra panel to show that off for no fucking reason. And then, what was it? He tried to like grab her and a fucking piece of wood ended up in the dude's hand, which I feel like is a Naruto joke in itself. But the whole substitution jutsu, it was just ridiculous. It was a whole bunch of funny, ridiculous shit. And then what made it funnier is that she won the contest. And then when Roman came in there to like talk to her about it, the first thing that comes out of her mouth is like, you're scary. And it's like, what the fuck kind of response is that? Like, she finds Roman. I think she's afraid of Fumi's talent because of how good Fumi does, even though you're the reason why she does so well, even though logistically that doesn't make any sense anyway. Because the style you have, Roman, sucks for all intents and purposes. I really think it's only meant there for comedy, which is obvious because we're in a comedy gag manga with shonen undertones. And then the second half was so much funnier. The second half is really revolving around Tsubaki and the Sket Dan. but in a funnier way. Essentially, the student council are having a meeting and they're waiting for Tsubaki to show up. The principal comes in there and tells them, "We need you for something." What that "need you for something" really amounts to is that him telling them about his grandson for like fucking the entirety of the episode until like the last five, not even five, like the last 2 minutes. And so it's like, what the fuck is Tsubaki during all of this? Well, Tsubaki apparently forgot his glasses. Forgot his contacts in, forgot his glasses, so he's bumping into shit he can't see. He ends up in the skit dance room by accident where he explains it, and they show like another picture kind of reaffirming it, if anyone else didn't know, that the kid with the glasses that Boston saves in his backstory is Tsubaki, and the irony is because they're brothers, the irony of it is the older brother was still protecting the younger brother even though they don't even realize it. I kind of want Boston to like randomly being like, they need to do that episode where like Boston visits Tsubaki's house and he sees a random picture of Tsubaki when he's younger and he's like, fuck. Like, I want to see that. But that's getting off off topic, my bad. So essentially from there is they're like, okay, let me help you to the student council room because you can't see for shit right now. And he's like, no, I don't want any help from the Sket dance. So before they were doing imitations of people, and it was shown that Himiko can do a okay impression of Daisy, and Boston can do a pretty good impression of Agata. So what he does is he pretends to be Agata with imitating the voice since he can't see his face, and he leads him to the student council room. And then makes it worse is like he admits his fallacy, like he admits to Boston thinking it's Agata going. He has a complex about his glasses because when he was younger, apparently he got teased a lot for wearing glasses and all that other shit, which is something I can kind of relate to because I've been wearing glasses since I was in 5th or 4th grade, so I can kind of relate to him in that aspect. And then like they kind of felt bad, so they were kind of gonna leave it alone. Then the irony is that like Tsubaki got all serious. It's like, all right, it's time for the student council meeting. Let's go, Agata. And like, so for some stupid reason, they all get roped into that instead of just. And it's like there's a point in the episode where he's like, where they're all like, damn it, we lost our chance to let it go. So now they have to pretend to be the student council. We saw that Switch can kind of imitate Unyu with like the robotic voice and shit. So Switch is pretending to be Unyu. Himiko's pretending to be Daisy. And Boston has the tasking chore of being Agata and Michiru, which we can find out during that whole situation that he can imitate. And it's literally like this ridiculous barrage of stupid shit. And like, the problem is that Himiko can't hide her accent, so there's a point in the point where she's like saying shit like DOS. Die in a sewer or some shit. And fucking, she like ends up saying a Yankee thing with the phrase. So Tsubaki's like, Daisy, why are you speaking with a Yankee tone of voice? And then like the Unyu shit, and then what they did is since Basu can't be at two places at once, they took like a head of a doll that Switch had, like that anime head doll that we saw like a while ago, and put that in there since Tsubaki can't see. And they even put like a wig on Himiko, so she looked like Daisy when they put the wig and the fake glasses on. It was ridiculous. Actually, that was pretty cute. But the second episode is just like, you see the point where bosses were getting run ragged because this nigga has to crawl on the floor and shit. And then like they're going through the questionnaire, and the questionnaire is like, "What's your birthday?" And the birthday is like Switch just got fed up and just fucking said all the birthdays to get it all out of the way. And I think the second one was the hobbies. What was the hobbies for? Like, this said Agata's hobbies was like, what was it? It was some like they did contradicting hobbies. Like I think I knew Michiru's was fucking crawling instead of cooking because he was crawling back to his seat as Michiru when he got there. Himiko said I think Himiko said like violence, some type of violent act for Daisy, and then like a whole bunch of ridiculous stupid shit. And then by the end of it all, the thing that ends up saving them is that fucking Himiko loses her shit and beats the living fuck out of Tsubaki. And he just gets and she just knocks him out. And then like when he wakes up, he notices that everyone is back, and and they are like, dude, we just got here. What are you talking about? It's like, I could have sworn we've already had the meeting. And he's like, wow, it was already nighttime. He's like, what is this? See, I wasn't dreaming. Like, we did have the meeting. And they get the picture, and it's like all these ridiculous ass answers for the questionnaire. And then at the bottom, it's like, give the Sket Dan a higher budget. And it's like, and the Senate Council's like, what? So that was pretty funny. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Actually, I thought that was pretty funny. And I guess the cool thing at the end of this episode is they didn't show a preview. So I went on TV Tokyo's site to find the preview. Guess what the preview is, folks? We're getting almost knocked my leg off. This is the problem with having a wireless keyboard. You tend to like hit it and shit flips. We're getting into the School Rhapsody arc. I think it's like High School Rhapsody. We're getting into that, and for some reason the next episode is called Skip, which I think is like the prequel chapter to High School Rhapsody, because I know Boston's backstory has that same thing where it's like Happy Birthday, but before there's a prequel chapter called One Guy's Quiet Day Off, which is all the Ryunosuke stuff without telling you it's Ryunosuke, which is Boston's father. It's the same thing. I think Skip is that prequel chapter, which I'm really surprised they actually even put that in. Now, what I've heard about High School Rhapsody is that it is bar none one of the funniest arcs in the series. From what I understand, the cat thing with Tsubaki happens in the High School Rhapsody arc. Which, if you watch the preview, you can guess that part, because you see Chu for a split second, and then you see Bosun and Tsubaki take these black pills and then freak out, which probably means that's probably what. From what I heard, see, the thing is, I listened to a Sket Dance podcast the other night, and I kind of heard spoilers about High School Rhapsody. Like, the reason why he turns into a cat is something based around hypnosis. Which, if that's the case, then what's the fuck the pill gonna do? I also heard that there's some body switching. I don't know if that's in High School Rhapsody. I just heard there will be body switching sometime in the future. And if that is in High School Rhapsody, then I'm thinking that's probably where the whole thing with Saya shows up, which at this point, it should be blatantly obvious what she's going to do in High School Rhapsody. I mean, because what has been her main gimmick up until this point? You have a crush on Boston. High School Rhapsody is a trip. What do you think it's possibly going to be? If the body switching occurs during High School Rhapsody, I can kind of guess what is probably going to happen with that whole thing with Saya. Because I heard Boston's switches with Himiko, which I can honestly think will probably be one of the funniest fucking things. Honestly, a lot of people say High School Rhapsody is like one of the funniest arcs in the series. It's probably bar none one of the funniest arcs in Sket Dance. So I'm looking forward to that. So we got Skip next week. High School Rhapsody starts. We'll finally get into this bitch, because I guess this is gonna end off this new opening. You know, the it's weird because it's grown on me now. So is the ending, ironically. The ending has grown on me too. But I'm rambling now, so tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below. This is actually a fairly long review, even though it felt longer than it was, because I'm kind of out of it for some stupid reason. Maybe it's because I got back from class like an hour ago. I don't fucking know. But anyways, this is Terrell of Terrell Game Vlogs. What the fuck? No, this has been the Vlogs again from your boy Terrell. Tell me what you guys thought, and look forward to Skip or / High School Rhapsody next week. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. So, Sket this. What's so awesome? Yeah, I've got to come up with better ways to end videos. It's just such a bad ending. This is awesome!